Hey guys, welcome back to our channel, Auto V Fix. If you're new here, this is the channel where we break down common car issues and help you fix them without wasting money at the mechanics. In today's video, we're revisiting a really important topic that's caused confusion for a lot of car owners. The idle air control valve, IAC valve. We'll be talking about what it is, how to reset it, when you might actually need to reset it, and I'll share some updated insights and tips based on your feedback from the last time we covered this. Now, if your car has been acting up, maybe the engine idles too high or too low, stalls when you're stopped at a light, or just doesn't feel right when idling, the IAC valve could be one of the reasons. The idle air control valve plays a key role in managing your engine's idle speed, and when it's dirty, sticking, or failing, it can throw off your whole driving experience. So in this video, I want to help you understand how to deal with IAC valve issues the right way, so you can get your car running smoothly again without unnecessary stress or expense. Let's dive in. What is an idle air control valve, IAC valve? The idle air control valve, or IAC valve, is a small but critical part of your car's engine management system. Its main job is to regulate the amount of air that flows into the engine when your foot is off the gas pedal, for example, when you're stopped at a red light or parked with the engine running. The IAC valve helps your car maintain a steady, smooth idle speed without stalling or surging. Adjusting airflow is needed without any input from you. On most older vehicles, typically pre-2000s or early 2000s models, the IAC works alongside the throttle body and the engine's computer, ECU, to balance the air-fuel mixture at idle. It opens and closes slightly to let in just the right amount of air so your engine keeps running properly. Many newer vehicles, especially those with drive-by-wire systems, no longer have a separate IAC valve. Instead, the throttle body and ECU handle idle control electronically. In these cases, there's usually no need or option to reset the IAC separately. Always check your car's service manual to be sure. Why would you reset an IAC valve? Over time, the IAC valve can collect carbon deposits, dirt, and debris, or its internal parts can start to stick. This buildup can prevent the valve from working as it should, leading to a rough idle, stalling, or fluctuating RPMs. Resetting, or more precisely, cleaning and allowing the computer to relearn the idle settings may bring things back to normal if the valve isn't physically damaged. Can you just unplug the IAC valve? And what will happen if you just unplug the valve? Well, if you unplug it while the engine is off, nothing happens right then. But your car will probably have trouble idling when you go to start it, and the check engine light will come on. If you unplug it while the engine is running, the car will likely stall, or the idle will go haywire because the engine no longer gets the air adjustment it needs. So unplugging the IAC isn't really a good diagnostic test. It just disrupts the system and causes more trouble. Common situations where you might reset or recalibrate the IAC valve. After cleaning the carbon buildup from the valve, after removing and reinstalling the IAC for any reason, after disconnecting the battery or resetting the ECU, which may clear idle memory. Remember, if the IAC valve is worn out or faulty, resetting won't fix the problem. Replacement is the only real solution. Symptoms of a bad or sticking IAC valve. When your idle air control, IAC valve starts to fail, the symptoms can be frustrating and sometimes dangerous if left unchecked. The IAC plays a crucial role in keeping your engine running smoothly when the throttle is closed. If it's dirty, sticking, or malfunctioning, your car will likely show some clear warning signs. Let's break them down so you know what to look for. The engine stalls at stoplights or during idle. One of the most common signs of a faulty IAC valve is the engine stalling unexpectedly when you come to a stop. You might notice this at traffic lights, stop signs, or even when parking. The car suddenly shuts off because the engine isn't getting the right amount of air to keep idling properly. Irregular, fluctuating, or surging idle RPM. If your RPMs are bouncing up and down while the car is idling, or if the idle seems to surge, dip, or feel rough, that's another sign of a bad or damaged IAC valve. You might notice the tachometer needle dancing or hear the engine revving higher or lower than usual without touching the gas pedal. Hesitation or poor throttle response at low speeds. When the IAC valve is sticking or clogged, your car might hesitate or stumble as you start moving from a stop. While the IAC doesn't directly control acceleration at higher speeds, it plays a key role in smooth takeoffs. Check engine light illuminated. A malfunctioning IAC valve can trigger the check engine light. Diagnostic trouble codes like P0505 idle control system malfunction, P0506 idle RPM too low, or P0507 idle RPM too high may appear if you scan the vehicle. Please note that A clogged or sticking IAC valve generally won't affect acceleration at highway speeds. If you're experiencing poor performance while cruising or accelerating at higher RPMs, the issue likely involves something else, such as the throttle body, fuel injectors, mass airflow sensor, or fuel pump. How to reset or recalibrate an idle air control valve, IAC valve. Before you attempt to reset or clean your idle air control valve, it's crucial to check your vehicle's service manual or trusted repair guide. That's because not every car has an IAC valve that you can reset manually. Many newer vehicles, especially those with drive-by-wire throttle systems, control idle electronically through the ECU and throttle body motor without a separate IAC valve. In these cases, idle speed is adjusted through computer programming, and you won't find a reset procedure for the IAC valve because it simply doesn't exist as a standalone part. And if your car does have a resettable IAC, here's how to do it safely and effectively. Steps to reset or recalibrate an IAC valve. 1. Turn off the engine. Make sure the vehicle is parked on level ground and set the parking brake for safety. 2. Disconnect the negative battery cable. This helps reset the car's computer and clears any adaptive idle memory. Leave it disconnected for about 10 to 15 minutes. In some cases, this alone may help the ECU relearn the idle position once you reconnect and restart the car. 3. Locate the IAC valve. On most vehicles, you'll find it attached to or near the throttle body. It usually has a small electrical connector or wiring harness plugged into it. Refer to a diagram in your service manual if needed. 4. If the IAC valve is accessible and designed to be removed, carefully unplug the electrical connector. Remove the mounting bolts or screws using a socket or wrench. Gently take out the IAC valve. Avoid pulling hard on wiring or components. Clean the valve thoroughly using throttle body cleaner or carburetor cleaner. Be careful not to soak the electrical portions. Focus on the moving parts and the air passage. Clean the IAC port on the throttle body too, as debris can build up there and restrict airflow. Use a clean rag or soft brush as needed. Please make sure to wear gloves and safety glasses. The cleaner can irritate skin and eyes. 5. Reinstall the IAC valve. Make sure it's seated properly and the gasket or seal, if present, is intact. Reconnect the electrical connector securely. 6. Reconnect the negative battery cable. Double-check that everything is reassembled and that no tools or parts are left under the hood. 7. Start the engine. Let it idle undisturbed for about 10 minutes. This allows the ECU to relearn and adjust the idle trim. During this period, try turning on accessories like the AC, headlights, rear defroster, and radio briefly. This forces the ECU to compensate for added electrical loads, speeding up the relearning process. 8. Take the car for a test drive. Pay attention to whether the idle is now smooth and stable when stopped or in park. What if problems persist? If the idle is still rough, surging, or the engine stalls after resetting and cleaning the IAC valve, then the valve itself might be faulty and will need to be replaced. Alternatively, the issue could lie elsewhere, such as with vacuum leaks, a dirty throttle body, a faulty mass airflow sensor, or issues with fuel delivery. Now, let's look at some of the frequently asked questions we often get on this issue. Can you reset an IAC valve just by disconnecting the battery? This is a great question, and it's something many car owners try first. Disconnecting the battery, typically the negative cable, for 10 to 15 minutes will reset the ECU's adaptive memory. This can help the computer relearn idle settings when you reconnect everything and restart the car. But here's the catch. Disconnecting the battery does not clean or physically reset the IAC valve itself. If the valve is clogged with carbon, dirt, or debris, or if it's sticking, you'll need to clean it manually or replace it. Simply resetting the ECU won't fix a mechanical issue inside the valve. What if cleaning doesn't work? If you've properly cleaned the IAC valve and the idle is still rough, fluctuating, or the engine stalls at idle, chances are the valve is too worn or damaged to function. The internal motor or pentle might be stuck or faulty. In that case, cleaning won't help, and you'll need to replace the IAC valve. Also, if you've cleaned the valve and ruled out other issues like vacuum leaks or a dirty throttle body, and you still have idle problems, replacement is the next logical step. Can I clean it without removing it? In some cases, yes. You might be able to spray throttle body cleaner or carburetor cleaner into the IAC air passage while the valve is still installed. This can help loosen light deposits. However, removing the valve gives far better results. When the IAC is out of the car, you can clean all the surfaces properly, inspect it for damage, and clean the mating port on the throttle body too. Leaving it in place means you won't fully remove heavier buildup that may be causing the problem. Will I get a check engine code if my IAC valve is bad? Often, yes. A faulty or sticking IAC valve can trigger the check engine light. If you scan the vehicle with an OBD2 tool, you may see codes such as P0505 idle control system malfunction, P0506 idle RPM lower than expected, P0507 idle RPM higher than expected. These codes point toward idle control problems, and while they don't always confirm the IAC is bad, other issues like vacuum leaks can cause similar codes. They're a strong clue. Do modern cars still have IAC valves? Many modern vehicles, especially those built from the mid-2000s onward, use electronic throttle control, sometimes called drive-by-wire. These cars don't have a separate IAC valve. Instead, the throttle body motor and ECU control idle speed electronically. In these vehicles, idle problems are handled by cleaning or servicing the throttle body. And resetting the system is typically done through ECU relearning procedures, not by working on a standalone IAC valve. Replacement cost. If cleaning doesn't work and you have to replace it, here's what to expect. DIY IAC valve cost. Typically $40 to $100 for the part itself, depending on the brand, model, and where you buy it. Mechanic replacement cost. Usually ranges between $150 and $400, which includes parts and labor. Some makes and models may cost more. Throttle body replacement. On some vehicles where the IAC is integrated, you might need to replace the entire throttle body, which can cost $300 to $700 or more. If this guide helped, hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss our car repair tips. If you have got any question about your IAC valve or idle problem, drop it in the comments below. I will see you in the next video. Bye!